What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 14 of my Total Warhammer 3 Kairos Fateweaver Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, the war with the Tomb King, specifically the Court of Libaras, has begun to go very well, with a few defeats, mainly a massive force of Tomb Kings outside of Mahrak by Kairos. This faction appears to be pretty much broken. Only Khalida is left to defend the Misty Mountain, and it looks like she will be overwhelmed by Skaven before long, and the faction will be ours for good. And oh look, there's some orcs out here that don't have that much of an aversion to us. Interesting. It's also interesting that they own this territory, because that's not somebody who's super likely to declare war on us. Although I may eat those words, as that damn little orky attack last episode that happened with... I don't remember the name of the faction. Some little orky faction. Some little dead orky faction. Anyway. Annoyed at them. Let's see what we've got to do this turn still. And it's not anything with regards to... moving, but it may be something with regards to building and diplomacy, which I meant to check last turn. All-Seeing Eye, you still have only one settlement, so we can't take one for ourselves. Clan Moors is still liking us, especially for the war with the Court of Libaras, but not enough for a alliance of any kind. Exiles no longer want the defensive alliances, they are getting stronger, but I assume that Skarbrand will fall to something eventually, although he's probably not getting nearly as overwhelmed as he was earlier. Otherwise, we got vassals, we got... nothing here, we got nothing here, and the Confederation remains unlikely. Alright, well, let's allow them to keep fighting. I guess these two factions are just going to be locked in eternal combat, which I guess is fine by us, at least for now. One more turn until we have the ability to get Chaos Sorcerers, but we do have the ability to get ourselves some iridescent horrors now. A Lore of Metal Horror. Training and spread control. Keymaster, ooh. Tough, so that you're more difficult to kill when you're on a burning chariot. Or Keymaster to buff up the barrier for the entire army. Honestly, I kind of like both. Let's see. What do you have? Wait, what do you have? You have a lore. You have the Lore of Tzeentch, do you not? Where are you? You have the Lore of Tzeentch. Yes. Yes. So we could get a Lore of Metal one. I'm just wondering, would we be able to recruit these anywhere closer? Now, this is the only place where we have this. So I guess we'll have to build you up here somewhere. Let's go Tor Serpindar, and let's get the tough guy. Let's get you. Alrighty, gotta get some more heroes on the field after all. And then you will go on that burning chariot and apply some extra damage. And we may get the Locus of Transmogrification on you, in combination with the same from those cultists. That could be pretty good. In fact, we really need to start building lots of cultist buildings so that we can have multiple cultists in various armies. I do wish that some of these loci had been changed to increase spell mastery temporarily, rather than, for example, recharge rate. This one especially feels kind of meh. Like, who cares about the power recharge? If it increased our power reserve, not recharge, it would be so much better. Yeah, but we'll keep you around for that burning chariot. It's better to get one of these than just to build a burning chariot, you know? And you can't do anything with regards to this. That's interesting, right? Assault, assassinate, and assault. Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's get you doubled up on Searing Doom, and let's get you your metal shifting. But otherwise, you go on north. Alrighty, now, do we need the second one? We can get the Keymaster as well with the Lore of Metal. I suppose you could... Your Lore of Tzeentch as well? No, your Lore of Metal. So we'll not bother with the second one yet. I would like the Keymaster, but I'm not sure where to put him. Kairos doesn't really need a second caster, and if anything, if Kairos does, he'd get a Chaos Sorcerer, because Kairos needs somebody to get an increase in item thievery. Yeah. Alright, well, that's for you to figure out later, Kairos. Or leave that to future Ruinous. Anyway. Do we make the Puzzle Maker's Hovel here, or do we just delete it? You know what, it's a small investment, and we might keep at least an army here. Just do this for now, we may delete it later. Alrighty, what else do we have? Kerrick Zorn, definitely those walls up right now. Golden Pass, You know, let's start... Ooh, I was about to say start building these, but Serpent Coast, you have something much more critical. And that's all of our cash anyway. Okie dokie, well, nothing much to do other than possibly an unholy manifestation on... on Volkmar, although perhaps we wait until he's in our territory to do this. Though then again, his actual army is pretty weak. Maybe it's not even necessary, and maybe we save that. I'm a little bit wary of the Tzeentch corruption dropping enough so that we don't have access to that anymore, though. Ooh, also, Dawn's Landing. I thought I fixed that last episode, but apparently not. Put you up. Unless a turn ended and I don't remember it, so that's possible as well. Anyway, skip the rest of this. And let's hit Doomglade with Garrulus, and hopefully Garrulus can take both of those provinces himself. I'm also still on the fence about fighting Skarbrand, or betraying at this point Skarbrand. On the one hand, I do want to fight him. On the other hand, there's not a lot of factions that remotely like us, with the possible exception of Clan Moors. Maybe we can get a defensive alliance going with them at least. The thing about Skarbrand is his type of units that we could get in our forces don't really line up so well with our combat philosophies either. Alrighty, Volki, are you still in your own territory? No, you're raiding ours, which means... Oh, hello. Findol does have a full stack. Oh my. If he were to attack Carrick-Zorn could very much be threatened. Let's upgrade you, Carrick-Zorn. Gotta watch out for that, but let us do an Unholy Manifestation. It would feel a waste not to put this on cooldown, so you can suffer a little bit of attrition for at least one turn. It probably isn't much, though, to be fair. Wow, he'll lose 4 units for this. So this is terrible. Huh. Why is this so bad? Oh, maybe he has a considerable reduction in attrition. He's immune to most attrition, but this is regardless of immunities. But if this barely does anything, what's the point of that? Maybe the better version is better, as the better version is better. Yeah, good job, Ruinous. No, the... I'm just amusing myself again. Maybe when the Tzeentch Great Game Tzeentch Ascendant thing is up, maybe that'll be worth it. But right now it doesn't seem so. Anyway, we have the Way of War, we have the Scatter Loci. Now, what do we go for next? I do like the cooldown for Lore of Tzeentch, and Lore of Metal as well. Then we got to get Way of Manipulation, Treason of Tzeentch. What else do we have here? Way of Prognostication, Open Gates, Casualty or Punishment Rate for Forsaken only. I don't care about that. I do, however, care about the Locus of Contrivance. Upkeep -3. It's not a massive reduction, but it is some reduction. Recruit rank, changing Break Alliance, Hero recruit rank for Iridescent Horrors. Yeah, the best thing is here, but we can't get that until we got a tier 5 settlement, so we can ignore that. In fact, we can ignore most of this stuff for now, as it doesn't really give us any bonuses that are easily usable. Yeah, I like the control +2 out of Persistent Change, though, so we could go through this way. And we do eventually want to get all the upgrades for our Lords of Change, but as we won't have any for a little while as yet, I think we're good as we are. Let's get Arcane Surge. Might as well get that cooldown. I really want this teleportation stance, but we can't get it until all those techs are done. We'll get it eventually, not to worry. Okie dokie. Well, let's see what we got next. Iber, you stay here and defend. I'll try to build some blue horse. Actually, there's no point. He's gonna attack us. Don't waste your time. Also, Serpent Coast. This time, I'm not gonna fall for it again. You're gonna build a wall. Garrulus, you might have to manually fight this. Maybe, depending on what's in the garrison. Maybe. It's nothing that would be threatening to you. And oh, right, we deleted that, so damn. Alrighty, well, Kairos, you'll get it somewhere else then. Can you reach Libaras in a single go? No. Do you want to bother reaching Libaras in a single go, or do you want to start moving out this way? That's another question. Assuming that once again we can leave the Skaven to this. Watch them lose. I'm gonna be real salty if they lose and then we have to come back here. We could help them out, but that doesn't really help us in any way. You know what? I think it's safer to move down to Libaras instead. Well, let's put you here for a turn or so, and then we'll wait, and you can go into encamp, and you know what? I know it's gonna cost, but maybe we just do the global recruitment and get what we want out of this, at least in terms of the ranged units. Though our melee line may need bolstering as well. You know what, let's spend our cash first and move our heroes, and then we'll see what we have left to work with after that. You're moving this way, Garrulus, you are about to attack, and I guess we need to give you your points. So let's get you Vile Enchanter now. For your relatively limited number of Forsaken, admittedly limited number of Forsaken. You have increased mobility, start going through the Fireball and the Kindle Flame, which you combine with the various Tzeentch and stuff by spamming the cheap spells. Alrighty. Iber, you will probably need your upgrades as well, just in case you get attacked instantly. You know, let's get one level of Gehenna's Golden Hounds. I doubt that we'll need it, but you never know. Tempting to get Voice of the Dark Gods and Warp Fire as well. Melee defense and missile strength for all demonic units. Searing Doom is just plain better than the Golden Hounds. Do we get you this then? The thing is, all demonic missile units, eh? I wonder if this counts. No, it's a monster. I'm just thinking of the Soul Grinders right now. Non-demonic missile cavalry and artillery. I assume it's this, monstrous strength, but we'd want to buff up those units with warp fire. Anyway, I think we'll get the 1 point. 4 melee defense ain't much, but it might be worthwhile on the defense. Possibly more so than metal shifting. Even with repeated casts. Because you're just going to be casting this one spell over and over again, presumably, on the defense. Anyway, that's you. Garrulus, you will attack, I guess, now. Well, let's see if this is auto-resolvable. It certainly doesn't seem like a fight worth fighting, I gotta say. Oh, he's going to run. Okay, well, I guess he doesn't count it to be worth fighting, then. And Pyrrhic victory, but half our army will die. Well, damn. I guess you could siege for a turn. It really doesn't seem like it's worth fighting. It'll just be taking the time to do it. Maybe we'll still have to fight it manually, but let's check what we got in terms of buildings first. Crate of the Walking Dead, Lamia, you need a wall right now. You are not in a safe position as yet. We'll also need to upgrade you to the Bastion, although the Tzeentch corruption still isn't high, so it's good that we have the gate currently. You guys can be upgraded, but I think it's not necessary right now. Kingdom Beast, you're good. Southern Jungles, you are good, at least in terms of money stuff. Temple Avenue of Gold, not so good. So library for you, definitely want to get the first level walls up and running, and you have this. I guess you start building military buildings now. We need cultist building everywhere, and we need, I guess to some degree, the Inchoate Forge. This does nothing in terms of our heroes. Just want to check if there's anything else interesting here. I guess we could actually build the growth building here as well at the Temple Avenue until it reaches level 5. It's not like we're going to be recruiting anything here anyway. Yeah, you know what? I like that idea. Let's do that. Abyssal Glacier, you're up next. Lost Palace, you do not need this anymore. You can build one of these cultist enclaves, though I think it's not super necessary. You know what? Let's get Kairos his pink horrors, even at prohibitive cost. Like so. Even with the fact that it'll take 2 turns. Oh, huh. Crate of the Walking Dead has 2 of these now. Nice. It'll make it easier for you to recruit your Forsaken. Anyway, I guess we have no choice but to fight this. We'll do this manually, but regular style, because I really don't see the difficulty of this. And why the game is making us bother with this. Actually, I should have double-checked. If the only things that were gonna die were these guys, we were gonna replace them all with Forsaken anyway. Oh, on the bright side, this should be a fairly easy one, or fairly non-lengthy one by virtue of the fact that we have 3 entrances close together like that. Should be good for the Blue Horrors and for our magics. I actually forgot that you had the weird spawn still. I think, however, the weird spawn don't benefit from any upgrades or any technologies, unless I'm mistaken. I could be wrong, but I feel like I checked with Village and they didn't seem to. Which is kind of disappointing, but you know, what can you do? I remember talking about how that bug existed in vanilla, where Regiments of Renown didn't benefit from a bunch of stuff. And then there was a bunch of stuff that didn't count in the red line at all. But oh well. Let's do 3... Okay, that's not gonna work. Do one like so, and then two behind it. One like so, and then two behind it. And then one like so. Is this too complicated? I don't know. Actually, you guys have to be more of a column because it's going to be hard to get up there, but, well, whatever. Keep the birds back here. Forsaken together with you guys. Like so. And like so. Lord, you're going to be the one dealing with most of the enemy by virtue of your fires, and then cultists, you're going to stay back because, well, there's nothing for you to do right now. Everybody move up, like, say this, like, ah, damn it, I didn't mean to move you two. Like, this, and like, say this, good enough. You, move. Flyers, I was gonna send you to attack that tower, but apparently it was a mirage of a tower, so we'll just ignore it for now. You start flying around and casting stuff, specifically getting rid of those archers as fast as possible, or as much as possible, like so. Let's hope that this bounces back and into them again. Not 100% sure, but it would be nice. Come on, get that cast up and running. You're not there yet? There you go. Yeah, it does bounce back through them. Lovely. The unit's not dead, but it will be shortly. Next, I guess you're going to go after the other archer. Although you can fly around. And what do we have back here? A unit of Ushabti. Maybe we start casting blue fires at them. Although the likelihood of bringing them all down is fairly low. You guys up further. So you can actually fire. You know what? You and the Forsaken charge. You move up. You move up behind them. Alright, you and the Forsaken... I mean, you don't necessarily need to charge. I'm a little bit wary of the Ushabti. They can still do damage to us. Like so. Like so. Like so. Would you guys please move? Come on. Come on. There you go. I always believed. And the Ushabti ran away. Well, actually, there they are. Fire on them. Blue fires. And let's get some pink fires on you then, because you're right there, and we can force it to bounce back through you like so. Alrighty, looks like the enemy's going to react a little bit. But nothing too concerning, and as soon as those pink fires are good, you're going to get charged. Good, by the Forsaken. We're going to get the spells on ourselves. And I suppose there may be some casualties, but I doubt they'll be all that relevant. You guys, can you attack that tower? It's going to be annoying otherwise. Cultist, you can join the fray here, and you guys move out like so and like so. You guys are actually firing. Oh, good job. Move up, however. And you move up as well. There we are, and there... Is that a Tomb Guard unit? Ooh, okay, we actually have to watch out for those, so... Let's do... I was hoping to hit that, but instead we're gonna have you all attack it. While you guys distract. From the side, ideally, and... Yeah, that's good. Alrighty, you... Want to get an attack on somebody? Ooh, the Ushabti are fighting back there. I'd prefer not to lose the Forsaken, though we're going to get rid of all the Marauders, so they don't matter at all. You guys attack here. Or actually attack the spears here. It looks like the tower is done for. Ah, there's another unit of archers there, so let's do that. Now, do we need to do anything else? Hey, stop. Leave our Forsaken alone. We need those. We need to keep those. Get away from them. Blue Cores, oh, I forgot about you. Let's have you attack the tower, my bad. Alright, you fly around, keep casting spells, and maybe land on these guys as well. Looks like these guys are just about done. And the Blue Cores can then, or maybe even the damaged units. Who's damaged here? Guess you're kind of damaged. You guys, ignore this and move into capture. While the Blue Horrors attack all these Tomb Guard. Lovely. And you guys have ran out of ammunition, so... Let's move you, and we need another pink fire back here as well. Alright, melee units, move. Ignore those spears, you can move, and you need to cast your pink fire right... say there. You guys need to help. Actually, not you, you need to help that. I mean, you do need to help, not the exact same unit that you were helping before. You guys, oh, you got the Ushabti summoned on you. Swell. Let's move you away in 3 different directions, and then tell you all to attack said Ushabti until they disappear. You are asleep, but you've already cast your spell. And I guess you're gonna go hunt Ushabti now. You guys all here. You guys all attack this. You guys all now switch who you're attacking. Beautiful, you attack the Ushabti, you attack the Ushabti, hopefully not in melee. I said not in melee. And how are you guys doing? You're nearly dead, but that's appropriate. You are going to cast the pink fire through, let's say, this. These guys should be down shortly as well, especially after that. Now, overcast onto the Ushabti here with the blue fires. And let's get a Bolt of Change, though I guess on the Skeleton Warriors instead, because it ain't so great otherwise. Alrighty, and how are these guys doing? You firing on the Ushabti now? Sort of. They're giving it a try. There we go. Bolt of Change goes down. Wait for another use of blue fires. These guys are good. Gateway has been broken. You guys stream on into the city. The enemy lord is being fought, but the point is captured, so that's fine. Ushabti are moving up. Get the Forsaken away, because they're the only unit here that we actually need to survive. You keep using those blue fires, regardless of the damage potentially done to our own units. And then let's get a pink fire through these guys as well. Not too bad. And you know what? Go fight those Ushabti. You should be able to do it just fine. You know what? All of you, go fight the Ushabti. Battle should be over very, very quickly. And you guys keep running away, please. And these Ushabti are down, so you guys move up and attack. No, you know what? Go for the tower. You keep capturing. Alrighty. Should be done any second now. Ooh, you can... Nah, just stay where you are. Any more pink fire? In a few more seconds. Let's have you cast... Ushabti are nearly done. Pink fire should finish this battle. Like so. And down goes that tower. Those units are done, and that should cause a chain rout. There's not enough enemy units on the field. Yeah, there it is. Alright, speed it up to max, we're done. Beautiful. Now let's try to find a proper battle. A little bit of losses, but not even any unit losses, so we'll still need to delete the Marauders at the very least. Though in the future we will have to be a little bit worried about those Forsaken, because while we're buffing them up, they're certainly still taking damage. How much damage did our Sorcerer do, I wonder? In terms of kills, the Forsaken definitely cleaned house. Especially, well, compared to our other units, I mean. Not compared to the Sorcerer. Sorcerer Lord. Ooh, we got another Trickster Shard? Oh, very nice. Wait, can we put this on Kairos? I want to put this on Kairos. Occupy the place. No, Garrulus, that's great. And no, you definitely aren't using a War Shrine. Not on a lore, that's a terrible idea. You are going to get a disc back up and running. We'll give the War Shrine to the Cultist. You now have Vile Enchanter. I guess you could get Malefic Sorcerer, but there may be other stuff that's beneficial. I do want to get Hearts of Iron on you, actually, so let's do that. Now, Kairos. You currently are using the Rock of Inevitability, but I feel that I would rather have you use the other Trickster's Shard. There we go. Might as well reduce their spell resistance, and then you can use the Rock of Inevitability instead of that garbage little fire ring instead. Where's that rock? There you go. Debuff on you. Although I suppose, ironically, you could benefit from it, but let's face it, you're not fighting high-tier armies right now. Oh, and you can use the time to consolidate... Let's say you and you, and then you and you, and then get a couple more Forsaken in there. Beautiful. Not gonna recruit any from here. We'll just move you to Libaras instead and do the same thing, especially while Kairos is stuck. I'm mostly not moving away because Kalita's still here, and I'm wary of her actually surviving. Doomglade, what do you have here? A level 1? No, that's useless. And this is a level 2. Oh, this would allow Kairos to... Wait, Kairos is in Lamia. Wait. He could recruit 2 pink cores. No, you know what? Do this instead. Kairos, you recruit those. You don't recruit your Forsaken. At least not yet. We'll do that at Libaras. I'd really rather Kairos do this, and then we'll give him something else. Have a blue horror for now. Yeah, that's much better. I'd rather not waste the time. A turn is a turn, after all, and that also saves us a decent amount of cash, interestingly enough. Let's see if there's anything we can get here. Yes, Occam's Forever Maze, more money, and you don't need anything here. You have your walls, so I guess for you it'll just be extra sorcerers, it'll be extra... Well, not these guys, but, yeah, all this stuff. Is there really nothing that we need to get you? I guess growth, potentially, but only for 5 turns, so there isn't really a point. There isn't even a point really to upgrading these because your growth is almost maxed out. But I don't want to waste the money on military buildings as yet, because we will be doing so later on. You're the same. Ah. Get that enclave. You are growing, but not nearly as fast as the other places. Although 900 for just a little bit of growth. Yeah, this is only for like 7 turns, so screw that. Now let's build this. Why not? Why not? And we're almost done needing to use all of our money on this stuff, which will mean we can switch to another army and drop our income back below about 5,000 to 6,000 while we conquer new territories here. Should be within the next couple of episodes. Alright, Scarbrand's still fighting some dwarfs, and he can continue to enjoying himself. Man, look at Scarbrand's bloodletting, it's so low. Or whatever that thing is called. I can see why Khorne exiled you, buddy. You ain't trying hard enough. Alrighty, looks like nobody's attacking us. Settlement besieged, the Golden Tower, brutal business. Oh, they're coming in with a second stack. I hadn't considered that. Oh, yeah, of course, now Tzeentch is Ascendant, right after we use that thing. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's see. You are gonna go back up. You are gonna go to... Let's put you in... Where are we sieged? Here in the Golden Pass, right? So, yeah. That's interesting. We have only... Wait, we do have this manifestation available again. Put it on Volkmar again, then. Nice. And I do wonder, what will this do? Will it now just put it in 2 turns, or... Attrition plus 25 from all attrition, but he still only loses 4 troops. It literally did not increase by anything. I guess he has some super anti-attrition ability that I'm not aware of. Because this is bizarrely... It bizarrely seems like it does absolutely nothing. Oh well. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that Kazarak? It's Warherd of the One Eye. Another Beastmen faction. Wait, why are you not talking to us? We should know you. Why don't I see you here? I can see you. What the heck is going on, game? Why are you lying? There's no Beastmen on here. See, now this is concerning me, because... Are we friendly? Huh, we can see them in the diplomacy. What the heck is going on? I'd love to trade them a settlement and once again try for that Cygor, but if it ain't happening, it ain't happening. Kairos, I guess you're moving down to Libaras then. These guys are still sieging, and I assume this is gonna go forever. I swear this was at 9 last turn, now it went up. Maybe these guys keep abandoning the siege and trying. I have no idea what's going on over there. Normally, I'd feel like we should destroy this, because they might attack our relatively weak, newly taken stuff. But once again, I kind of want a Beastman ally, so just get Libaras, unless you can hit it in 1 turn. No. You are going to go for King Anlamace instead. And King Anlamace is going to run? But he's not going to run far enough. And go here. Auto-resolve him, decisive victory, a little bit of damage, war banner on you. And war banner on you. Alright, looks good to me. That guy's down, and you can no longer move. Oh, a Power Stone, though. Decent pickup. Very decent pickup indeed. Now, you could actually get a few Forsaken out. Or we could let Kairos hit Libaras. Yeah, you know what? This is probably the better way to do it. Hit Libaras. And auto-resolve it. And occupy it. There we go. And province secured. Very nice. And wow, okay, another one of these. In every single time. Oh, actually, keep that there for a turn. Take out this guy. And put in another pink horror. There we go. That should be a very solid amount of range firepower for Kairos. Especially since he has accursed horrors as well. For the increased missile strength. Otherwise, speaking of Kairos... You know what, let's keep leveling. I'm still not sure about this. I feel like I do want the Legions of Madness. And I also feel like I want the Fragment of Akshi, but I don't want to do the count right now, and it's not like Kairos really needs it. Alrighty. You can March Stance. You know what, let's just March Stance down here. How long would it take to reach Iber? Too long. Way, way too long. So there isn't much point. Instead, oh wow, he's got a third stack coming. Ooh, and Talakwa is coming. Okay, yeah, we need to reinforce here. Instead, you're going to Karakarud. I'm not entirely sure where we're going to send Kairos, though. I'm tempted to start building a third army, but actually just to reinforce at the Golden Tower instead. Like, let's say, at Teotihuacan. Alrighty, the question is, Fire, what can you build here? Can you build anything decent here? Unfortunately not. And probably not here, though you could via global recruitment. Would it be faster to move up through the... No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. At least this way you can move up and help defend. Okie dokie, let's get you, Fire, up and running. And let's have you start on pink, or... Whoa. You can apply global recruitment from here. Blue horrors like so. And I assume we're going to spend at least 2 turns here, although these guys are probably going to get here within 1. And 2 full stacks is probably not something we can hold against. I guess we'll see. I'm tempted to just say go for more blue horrors so that we can move next turn. We'll give it a try. And actually, this is one of those situations where we do probably want to be able to halt a faction, but we can't do it right now. Okie dokie. Well, Garrulus and Co., you are good here. Let's also continue building. Adriazel, you are moving this way. More heroes out. And Iber, well, there's nothing you can do, my friend. Is there anything here that we could give you to help you out? Power Stone would help you cast more. But I suppose it also depends on how long you can hold units. And you know what? I don't want to lose a Power Stone. Let's not give you anything. You have the Searing Doom. That's what you're going to have to hold with, buddy. Now, buildings. You are good, and you are in algorithm, contrivance algorithm. Yes, Crater of the Walking Dead, contrivance algorithm, please. And we'll get rid of this next turn or so. And yeah, we have the ability to build Kairos Warriors of Tzeentch out here as well shortly, so it's definitely a reason for Garrulus to stick around a little bit and buff up its army. Next up, Golden Pass, Teotihuacan. Yes on you, because you're going to give us extra money. And definitely walls, and I believe that's it with the important stuff. We don't actually need the growth building here, but, well, for the future. And then I guess you're going to build these for more sorcerers, as we will need for every army, and I guess we need this. You know what, start building the Cult of Deceits at this point. I think we've got all the money stuff, and soon we will have everything at tier 5 anyway, so we won't be able to... Well, I guess we can upgrade you, actually. Keep these at relatively low level, but otherwise we'll be fine. Lost Palace, you can upgrade your walls, as well as your main building. I was about to say stack, but not so much. And you are going to build a Cult of Deceits as well for another cultist in a turn. Or in a few. Ooh. Although we could get some more Chaos War Shrines. No, but all the cultists can go on War Shrine, so what the hell's the point? Yeah, fine. Build another one of these, then. At 3k, it's a little bit on the expensive side, but nah. Alright, Dawn's Landing, you are good, and you are not so good. We do have walls, we don't need you or you. We can build a military building here, then. Like so. Lots and lots of military buildings. Beautiful. I believe that's it. I'm hoping that these guys all attack us now, and we get a very nice cinematic battle. Even if it's a loss, last stands are always a great time. So, skip the rest of this. Let's see what they got. Please attack us with 2 stacks. Ooh, Scarbrand's moving forward. Maybe he can kill Thorgrim. Thorek. Wrong Thor. And there is many a Thor. And, Cult of Sigmar, come on. Don't be afraid. It barely has a garrison. I wonder what the towers are like, as in... With a wall at max level, is it the powerful towers or is it not? I think it's not, but we'll see. Fingers in the eyes, campaign line of sight or diplomatic relations with exiles. Let's go fingers in the ears. I am going to read this, though. A seedling sprouts from the floor for your chambers, its leaves shimmering between gold and blue. And not pink? Surprising. After but 9 hours, it has grown as high as the ceiling and bears strange fruit. Hundreds of spindly, spectral fingers. They twitch in unison, seeking a target. Fingers in the ears. Have the fingers discreetly seek out your enemies' lords and generals, tunnel through their ears and into their minds, and there rewrite their very thoughts. Okay, you know what? I have to read this because this was fun. Once the disembodied digits dig painlessly into the eyeballs of your foe's soldiers, painlessly, their sight shall become yours. The cost of concealing this grand act of sorcery will, however, be high. Yes, 500 favor, so high. So very high. Fingers in the ears. The wild hunt begins. Well, that's just great for Orion. Thanks for announcing that. And oh yeah, the third stack is here. Okay. Fire, you can't get here in time, I believe. March stance, there's no point in march stancing. Just go here. Recruit if you can. And if you can't, then you'll have to move back and hold at Teotihuacan anyway. More blue horrors. Spam them. Alrighty, while the rest of you, looks like Kairos is good. And damn, we can't see these guys anymore. You know what? I think what we do now is actually reveal not Khalida, but reveal Shroud on Clan Moors instead. Perform. We can't actually see their settlements or their armies. Well, damn. Alright, fine. Court of Libaris as well. Yeah, this is still up. Reveal faction intentions. Not gonna be up on Cult of Sigmar anymore, but I would like to see it from... you know what? Let's put it on Talaqua. And that's gonna be on a cooldown now, and... I would actually like to see Talaqua's territory as well. And let's see what we're looking at down here. It looks like they're going to try to help with the Golden Tower. Oh, well, we definitely can't take 4 stacks. Pretty unlikely, I gotta say. Yeah, we'll have to defend. And... almost tempted to say, presuming that these two die, well, at least Iber dies, we may actually need a proper army down there, which is either Kairos, because he's the properest army that we've got, or somebody else. I'm going to assume that the rats will succeed against Khalida. They can't be sieging this long for no purpose. These guys have nearly lost their entire garrison to attrition. Though the problem is, these guys might actually not take Misty Mountain, but instead sack it. Nah, whatever. Kairos, you gotta move, buddy. With teleportation at that. Garrulus, you are going to move in camp stance. Wait, actually not in camp stance, just regular stance. I want you to recruit while in this territory. We have the capabilities, so you are also not... You know what, maybe you could use some pink horrors rather than blue. In addition to Forsaken. So let's start with you two into Forsaken. And then we'll leave the pink horror building here as well. Doomglade, you are needing to grow. And we're still not collecting income here, though we could. Yeah, you know what, collect the income. Might as well increase it. Also, let's check on our sorcery here. Looks good to me. The Southlands World's Edge Mountains... No, okay, we're good. Don't need to do anything there. And Iber, well, you're stuck, man. I'm gonna keep this episode going until they frickin' attack that place, because I think it'll be an epic fight, and I want to see it. I want to see it happen, damn it. Alrighty, well, I guess it's time to start building military buildings everywhere. Kraggerud, do you need to collect? Nah, you don't. You're still okay. Let's upgrade Machrock. And Golden Pass... we need to grow... Yeah, just do it. Just do it so I don't see the frickin' icon anymore of that particular location, since it's going to be up for a while. You're technically in the same way. Once again, we're getting most of that money back. Lost Palace, walls. Dawn's Landing, rather. Walls. And Occam's Forever Maze, you can't build either of these, but you will be able to shortly. Yeah, alright. Within the next few turns, we're going to start building a massive army at Fortress of Dawn, a massive modernized, retrofitted army with regards to new units, and we're going to send it north, while Kairos' goes there as well. And I assume that Garrulus is going to stay north to deal with whatever's going on up here. Oh, we get another recruit, potentially, so let's take out you and put in a Forsaken. Lovely. Okie dokie, no need for levels for you, and let's end the turn, and let's see, will they attack? This should be more than enough units to attack our garbage little garrison. Ooh, Skarbrand sieging Thorek. Who will win? Who will win? Thorek does not have a full army, and Skarbrand does, but who knows what's in those armies. Alright, don't you be a Wisp Cult of Sigmar. Yes, alright, they are going to attack with 1, 2, 3 full stacks. A decisive defeat, eh? Well, let's hope for an absolutely glorious battle, obviously, cinematically.
Destroy these weaklings and deliver them to their fate.
Alrighty, well at least give it a try. Anyway, Iber, it's do or die for you, man. Literally do or die, because if you don't succeed, you will not be around, as they will destroy you, and you are not immortal. Now, the enemy has quite the troop advantage on us, and our garrison is super basic. However, we do have Lizardmen Towers, and these are pretty darn good Lizardmen Towers, as they are the splash damage variety. And that will give us a fairly considerable advantage. Let's see what the first volley does, shall we, in terms of damage. Alright, some nice explosions there, and I just want to say, so you only lost 3 troops, actually not that much, but your damage is about 10% and not so bad. So yeah, as long as they can dish out the damage like that, we'll be happy. The enemy has 2 siege towers to their name, both of which are going to get focused down by our own towers, and 2 rams as well, which will suffer the same fate. Otherwise, I think the enemy made a major mistake by splitting up their entire force like this. They've essentially increase the number of towers that we have that will simultaneously fire on their army. They were much better off going in one location and trying to advance through that than this. However, they do have one advantage, or rather to say, we have one terrible aspect about this map. The towers, as in the interior towers, have terrible positions. We have one here that's relatively close, and that's it. This one can fire on the walls, and that is the only one on the entire map. The next nearest tower, I believe, is right here, and this one I think can't even reach the walls, or if it can, it just barely can. So pretty awful, and on top of that, it's got a bunch of trees and buildings and stuff in its way, and it's fairly low to the ground like this. So yeah, good luck with that. Everything else is super far back, which would be great if we were trying to defend this portion. But there's just too much value in our towers not to do that. Anyway, as we can see, the enemy's starting to take damage, and the same thing is occurring in all the locations, but I guess we'll watch this one for no particular reason other than it's in the center. Alrighty, and we also have a very limited number of pink horror units. It's 3 or 4, I can't quite recall. Hopefully it's enough to prevent these guys from coming in. And there we go. I wonder why one is... Oh, I guess the front line is shooting directly, and the other ones are arcing over the wall. Interesting. Though not many of them seem to actually be firing. This does not look like a fire at will from those pink horrors. I wonder why that is. I mean, that's not nearly as many shots as it should be, is it? Yeah, it's almost like it's using fire at will instead. But whatever, as the enemy keeps drawing closer, they keep getting hit by our towers. We also got to start casting as much as possible to bring down the SRAM, but also to try to activate Tzeentch's Firestorm. And it looks like the blue horrors are now able to fire, and is it me or the blue horrors actually firing more than the pink ones? The heck? What are you doing, pink horrors? Do your job, damn it. Alrighty, ooh, that was a nice hit by one of the towers. I guess it was probably this one, as it seems to have hit parallel to the unit. They were trying to wait for the ram to come in, but the units on the ram have decided to rout after that hit with our spell, and the enemies are now in the crossfire trying to grab that ram once again. Over on the sides here, Volkmar is heading towards the gate. His own ram is just about down, and so are most of his troops, though he can break the gate down by himself, which is obviously a concern. And while our lord isn't there, we are keeping our set of Forsaken at the gates to try to fight him off if he gets through. Over on this side, we damaged, or rather destroyed, both of the enemy towers and are now surrounding and killing the enemy archers with our 3 units of flyers, who will kill them and then hopefully help clear out the walls over here as well. And once again, this is just the first wave. There are 2 more fullish stacks coming. Yeah, here they are. And another lord in each of them as well. I feel bad for these particular units because they really got caught in the crossfire here. Ooh, nice shot once again, parallel to the enemy formation, and another Searing Doom going to come down right on top of the ram and all the units that were carrying it. It didn't quite rout the units, and it didn't quite bring down the ram, but we're nearly there. They have not breached the walls at this location, despite the garbage nature of our garrison. Alright, almost there, almost there. And will they get there? No, they will not. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. It looks like we have a couple units that are climbing the walls. The one here is about to rout, and one is wavering as well. And one of them is an archer unit, so we're not really concerned about that. So it looks like the center holds, but there's a lot, and I mean a lot more units coming, and still plenty more to enter the field as well. Also a significant increase in the amount of range units there, in addition to that. Over on this side, it looks like the spearmen are getting on top of the walls, but the furies are there, the screamers are here, and more furies are over on this side. So every location where an enemy climbs, a flyer is there to prevent them from dishing out any actual damage. Screamers are particularly effective here. And there we go. Very nice. They really should have concentrated their forces more, because now they're, well, at least Volkmar's stack is getting isolated. That said, by virtue of them coming in as reinforcements, the second and third stack are not going to be isolated, as in they're all looking like they're going to attack together. Moving in as a single blob of, what, minimum 25, 30 probably units, depends how many of theirs are still on the map. Gotta be at least 30. Ouch. And it looks like Volkmar has broken through the gate. Fortunately, he is not on his carriage, his anvil of war, whatever the heck it's called again. War Altar of Sigmar. Remembered it again this time. He's not on it yet, but he is going to charge through and start attacking our pink horrors, preventing them from running away. We are going to send our Forsaken at him, hopefully to distract him while we move our horrors into the defense here. We're going to now need to concentrate as many of our forces here as possible, as we need to hold back a pretty massive tide compared to the amount of units that we have on the field. The balance of power is certainly still in their favor, and we can still take a lot of damage, but we need to start getting a move on and going to the enemy, and going to this, well, it's not quite a choke point, but to this location. I also want to point out that we did have enough blue horrors to essentially put one at every tower location to make sure that every single tower that is on the outside wall is at least activated. Also, considering we didn't have the range, I upgraded the fourth tower, or the this one tower, to tier 4, so at least this one will do quite nice damage if it can actually fire at enemies. Though it doesn't seem to actually be doing a lot of splash, although perhaps it's being blocked by our own units there. Anyway, here comes the next set of enemies. I'm really glad to be seeing a defensive siege for once. Definitely don't get to see a lot of these. Let's see how the enemy handles running up here. I like how picturesque all of these locations are. They're fighting in such nice terrain, only to meet a pretty grisly end. Archers are running in first, pretty brave of them, considering they, well, I guess you could consider them to be skirmishers in this particular situation, advancing in front of the main host. So good for them. Also, at this location, we don't have a lot of towers firing at the enemy. And in fact, we have less than we would if they would attack here. Like, imagine if they advanced here towards this gate. Basically, at least 6, possibly 8 towers would be firing at them at the same time. But here, only 2, or actually possibly 4, if these ones are firing, and they are. But they probably won't if the enemy starts going directly for the gate. Also, let's just double check on Volkmar. He is now fighting the Forsaken. He does have regeneration, so we do have to watch out for that. And we are going to move our anti-large screamers to try to deal with him. But the fun part is obviously where the enemy is coming. And the reinforcements just keep coming. And they don't stop coming. Alrighty. This should be interesting. Will we be able to hold? We have to make sure that if our walls fall and enough enemies get into the city, that we maintain enough units to be able to retreat to the, not to the main, well, to the main capture point, to the final point, because we can still build towers all the way back there, even if we can't build a lot of towers in the city. And yeah, see, now that they have enough units to sufficiently, you know, outnumber the number of shots that we can fire at them, they're getting on those walls quite quickly, with plenty more to come. There we go, and on top of that, the blue horrors will be running out of ammo fairly shortly. This one's in fact already out, and so is this one. Then we do have a couple of extra pink horrors that are still here, and though, once again, they don't seem to do a very good job of actually firing. I don't know what these units' problems are. I wouldn't think that the pink horrors would be so much worse on top of the walls than the blue horrors, but it almost seems like they are. Very strange. Maybe it has something to do with these guys being in the corner like this. Sometimes the unit only faces one way and then can't. Like, maybe it's counting these guys, so these guys aren't attacking. I don't know. What I do know is they're taking shots from the enemy and not firing back at all. They haven't fired for a while, and it can't be obstructed unless it's counting the obstruction of this tower. No, but it's not doing the same thing for the blue cores. They're just fine. In fact, they're firing right through it. I don't care about the tower. What the heck, pink horrors? You're better than this, damn it. At least you're supposed to be. But anyway, let's check back what's going on here. Bounce power still in their favor, and more enemies are getting to those walls. We have been dropping Searing Dooms down on enemies in various locations, and we'll continue to do so whenever they blob up.
As long as we draw breath, they will die! Enemy wizards spotted!
Alrighty, and the gate has now been broken apart as well. And interestingly, the pink horrors do seem to be actually quite a bit more effective when you don't put them on the walls, but keep them like this. They do seem to be arcing over the walls, which should in theory be a much more difficult shot than these guys who are just gonna die here completely uselessly. I don't know. I don't know what was up with that unit. In the meantime, Volkmar is at about half HP over here, continuously fighting all of those Forsaken and Screamers, though the Screamers have now started to take damage as well. Really wish we had a tower, like one of these towers, to actually support us here. And here comes another Searing Doom on top of a blob of enemies just before they start climbing. Really useful spell when you're fighting against blobs of infantry that are trying to climb like that as well. And there we go, they've broken through the gate and are trying to get through. We're going to move our Sorcerer in, as well as some units to try to fire into this gap, and potentially drop a few spells on them out there as well. How's that balance of power looking? Damn, they still have 2,000 units. After all that, they still have more units on the field than we do. Though now they're certainly getting whittled down. Several of the walls are not looking so hot. These blue horrors are probably gonna die, and frankly, the pink horrors aren't helping the matter. Another overcast, I think, actually no, that was a regular. I think that was a regular Searing Doom coming down, and oh, it leaves those metal marks on the walls as well. That's pretty neat. I do wish that when pieces of walls flew off, they would crush the units beneath them. And look at that, the blue cores can fire down through the walls into the enemy directly beneath them. Oh, that's really interesting. I gotta remember that for the future. I didn't know that was a thing. Kind of obnoxious, but apparently it is a thing. Alrighty, well, that's great for us. And they're trying to break through, but the blue horrors do still hold. I am trying to be careful with the Chaos Sorcerer, however, as, well, obviously we don't want him to die and cause our entire army to rout. And whatever he's doing, he's casting something. Another Searing Doom. Yeah, once again, I think non-overcast, yeah, just like the last one, into a smaller concentration of enemies. And now the balance of power, nope, I was about to say has shifted towards us, but no, not so much. We'll get there, at least I hope. Alrighty, a decent amount of the enemy archers are starting to take quite a bit of damage, however, because the towers will continuously shoot them. I am trying to pop a Tzeentch's Firestorm on top of the enemy archers, but the AI is pretty good at getting the heck away from Tzeentch's Firestorms when used. You really need to distract the units in some way before dropping this, as otherwise they just don't take enough damage for this to be worthwhile. Need units to actually be engaged, or yeah, once again, AI just moves away. Though that said, that was a few seconds where the enemy wasn't firing any shots at all, and more damage from various towers, though unfortunately this one has finally been claimed by the enemy. We have now abandoned attacking Volkmar with the Screamers. He is not dead, he is still fighting, it's just that we needed the Screamers to help deal with stuff on the walls a lot more than we needed them to hit Volkmar. He's also at about 25% HP at this point, and he's reached his healing cap, so it should be that over time the Forsaken will be able to destroy him. And it looks like the enemy has actually failed to get through the gate, and the enemy is doing pretty poorly on this side of the wall, so that's nice. Though a few more units are getting through, it looks like army losses will be sufficient to make sure that they don't continue. Very, very nice, and all that without the help of any interior towers because of the stupid setup we have here. And I've definitely fought large battles in multiple cities that were just as big as this one, and they definitely did not have off tower placement that was so awful that none of them were able to help on the walls. So I don't know what's up with this city. Which is unfortunate, because just look at how freaking cool this this Lizard Man city is. They have some of the damn best cities. Just like the Cathans, they need some sort of cool map contest sort of thing. Though the skylights are a little bit overused, you gotta admit. But I get it, that's their aesthetic. Ooh, I like how there's a skull built into this particular pyramid location. But anyway, obviously the battle is over. Volkmar nearly died, but wasn't quite there. If we still had units on those walls, we maybe could have shot him down, but no, we couldn't have. He's heading off to the edge of the map. We can speed up through the rest of this. Our Lord is going to chase the enemy down, and we are going to try to kill as many of the runners as we can. And the towers actually do a pretty good job of exploding that poor Huntsman General, though it does look like the other one survived. Very good. And also, I had never noticed this before, but these guys actually run on the, well, on the air here. They're walking on air. That's very neat, but you know what? What's also interesting? You can't actually cast magic on top of this. It doesn't count as terrain. I wonder if you can still hurt units while they're here, because the edge of the map is all the way back here, and it feels like they're still on the map. Huh, but you can't actually select the unit, like you can't hover over them. Very strange. But, you know, I wouldn't be super shocked about this being a possibility in Lizardman locations, or frankly, Tzeentchian locations altogether. I mean, look at the Lizardman towers, they're big frickin' floaty things. You know, it would be really awesome if you could upgrade these towers, the Lizardman towers, to essentially turn while floating and fire in multiple directions, maybe even inside the city, but on top of the walls as well. Though it would be obnoxiously powerful. Maybe it's some, like, maybe it's like a final piece of research for the Lizardmen, or at least one of the final pieces of research, or like something unique one of the Slan can do. Like maybe it's ancient lizard technology and only a Slan can operate them like that. That would be neat. Or maybe they can do that when in the presence of a Slan, maybe like they can't do it all the time. Or like the Slan has to be near them or something, I don't know. Mostly I just want something different with the tower so they didn't all act roughly the same with the exception of different types of ammunition. Anyway, once again, speed it up to max, kill off the rest of the few units remaining on the field before I start ranting about towers again. And yeah, looks like we've done this. We've lost about half our army to the defense, but I think that's more than worth it. Over 5.4 thousand enemies, and a well-earned heroic victory for the defenders. Looks like Iber gets to smash runes another day. It is disturbing how bad the AI is at sieges, but damn, that was pretty glorious. So damn many of those Imperial line troops slaughtered. We did lose a few units ourselves, both from the garrison and from our army, though not nearly as many as we could have, and I feel like a couple of them dissipated or were banished while we were chasing the enemy. Unfortunately, Volkmar didn't die, so he's gonna come back, and Talakwa is going to attack us next turn as well, by the looks of it. We are probably going to replenish here. And I just gotta say once again, I think out of all the maps I've played, that one probably has the worst tower placement of all of them. And I don't mean the wall towers, I mean the buildable towers. It was just atrocious. None are remotely close to attack the units on the towers, and most of them are blocked by trees and buildings and stuff. Terrible. I wonder if is there any map anywhere that competes with that one in terms of poor tower placement. Very bizarre. Well, it looks like Iber is now level 11 because he got a ton of XP out of that particular battle, so that's great for him. Though he... Damn, I should have done some more global recruitment while waiting here, because now Talak was still going to attack, and they... Oh my. They got 2 Coatls, they got a Sacred Croxy, they got Blessed Chameleon Skinks, plus all of these units probably coming in as reinforcements as well. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave that, presumably also epic siege until next time, as we are out of time. Well, that'll probably take up the majority, I would say, of next episode, so stay tuned for that and whatever Kairos gets up to. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.